Hello everyone, it's Kay here with episode 3 of the second series from Handy Hippo Crafts. This week I'm showing you how to make a shaker card and introducing you to Webster's World, whereupon I have used papers from it and embellishments to make some baby cards. We've had the Valentine's, the wedding, now we're having the birth of the baby. The paper pad that I've been given is this one. It's a 6x6. Hello World is the name of the pad, and it's websterspages.com, available on Handy Hippo. The ribbon that coordinates with this paper stack are these little delightful gathered lemon lace, a green and a blue lace, and then this very lovely velvet effect lace, a ribbon, sorry, all of which come in a pack as it's presented there. Within the paper pad there are 28 sheets. There are little tags and cutouts that you can use on various projects that you're working on, and they really are a very good quality. These particularly are double backed. Most of the papers are two-sided, which makes them quite invaluable because you're always going to find something on one of the pages, whether on the right side as that's supposed to be or on the wrong side, to contrast with the papers that you've chosen to use. If I hold the sheet up, you'll see some of the designs. There are hot air balloons, little horses, foxes, baby grows, more balloons, some wording, spots, stars. There's an array of different papers there that you can use, as I say, in a lot of different ways. There are also these embellishments which I've not opened. It's Alison Kreft, and it is bows. They're all metal, little arrows, ribbons, quite delightful in their own way. And again, it's part of the Webster World's, Hello World's paper pad. So all of it you can utilise for your cards and projects. From Handy Hippo I'm also using these Papermania Aperture cards, which are 5x7 and 300 GSM, so beautiful quality. Because we're heading towards making a shaker card, I also have some mounting foam here, which is 2mm in depth and 12x2mm throughout the roll, so that's another essential for shaker cards. But before we get on to the shaker cards, I'll just show you a couple of cards that I've made using this equipment and a couple of bits of things from my own private stash to make the cards a little bit more noteworthy, if you like. I mean, we would all add to anything that we bought, really, I think. So the first card I made was this one. What I failed to mention there, which is also part of the DT package when I can find it. My table is in a bit of a stew. Oh dear. Is the die. What have I done with that one? It's not on there, is it? There it is. Sorry about that. This little die from Memory Box, it's absolutely delightful. It's 3 little baby grows. They have got a star on one, a heart on the other, and another little star. It's quite a small die, but nonetheless I think you'll agree very effective when it's cut out on your cutting machine, whichever one you choose to use. And you do see the full impact of the little baby grows here. I've embossed some little baby's feet, which I'm hoping will be picked up by the camera if I can get it into the right light. and I've just punched a little border using the Rocking Horse paper from the paper pad. That's one. Very similar theme, but using more of the paper and one of the cutouts. Again, the little die cut, a little bit of ribbon there, some flowers in the corner, and more bits from the paper pad, and they do marry up really, really nicely. It might not be all white and wonderful, but it is nonetheless a very nice card to welcome a new baby, or to congratulate new parents, or just welcoming a niece or nephew or grandchild into the world. I then went on to make 2 shaker cards. This is the first one, and I'm hoping you can hear the sound of the shaker going on. There again are the baby diapers. There they are in silver from the die. In the little shaker aspect, I've just put seed beads, some mirror card cut out hearts, and then this little embellishment on the bottom. It's a boy, and some little doodads just to pretty up the frame. This again is the aperture card. I've not sealed it down, but you would, and you just work from the back for certain aspects of the shaker, fold that over to hide it away, and then you put your insert in there. So that's another card. And the other one, not leaving out the little girls, is another sheet from the pad. It's hearts this time, made up to look like little heart balloons. I've just put some distress ink, it's a girl, over that little wording there, and also around the frame, which I'm really not sure about. I'm very much a traditionalist, I find, and would have probably felt better if I'd left it all white. I've then used a little embellishment heart bow there with some of the organza ribbon, and that in effect are the those are the cards that I've put together using this design team pack. I will now go on to show you how to make one of the shaker cards. There are lots and lots of variations on YouTube, on lots of other channels, but this is the way that I am putting it together for the purposes of this video, and it really is probably one of the more straightforward ways to do it. I've got one of the aperture cards here. I've got a frame here that to save time, I've put all the sticky tape on and so on. We're using double-sided tape. I've just put a little bit of the faux velvet ribbon across the front, and this fits exactly over the front of the card, as you can see. So that's that piece done. You do need something to layer up over the aperture that you choose to use, whether it be a circle, a couple of die cuts. You want the smaller aperture on the base and your larger framework on the top. On the inside of this card, I've already placed some double-sided tape again, and I am going to use the Rocking Horse from the paper stack. So we'll do that first of all, and then we're working in a sequence. You just peel off the backing from your double-sided tape, if I can do that without taking the whole lot off, because I have crossed over the boundaries a little bit, because I want to be sure and make sure that these double-sided tape holds the picture that I'm putting underneath. Now what I do at this point is place right side up the paper that I want to put into the aperture. I've already put the double-sided tape on, so it is literally just a question of lining that up, letting the double-sided tape do its work behind, and there you have it. It's actually very, very neat, as you can see. Because this is a trifold card, I can close that piece over now, and that hides all the workings within the card very, very effectively. We now go to the frame, and I've double-sided taped that again, because now we are going to apply the acetate. Now Handy Hippo again have provided the acetate for this project, and I have to say it's been an absolute delight to work with, because it's one of the very few acetates that is designed to be anti-static and acid free. I think a lot of them are acid free, but heat resistant, so if you needed to, you can apply heat to it minimally, but the anti-static is the best bit of all, because if it doesn't matter how house proud you are, there is always dust around within your environment, and it actually stops the acetate collecting any of that. It's got a lovely piece of tissue in between each of the 10 sheets, which helps protect it, and it's 125 micrograms. It's made by it's made by Woodware, another very good company and readily available on Handy Hippo. So I've cut out my acetate to fit this aperture. You don't need an abundance of it, you literally do just want to cover the frame that you're going to be working with, which makes 10 sheets very, very cost effective, because depending upon the size of project that you're planning to use it on, you have something that's going to go on and on for a good while. Now I've lost the piece I cut out, would you believe it? Here it is, wrapped up with the tissue paper already protecting it. You can't see it, it is absolutely clear, but I have worked with other acetates that allow fingerprints and so on to be detected on its surface once it's put into situ. So this again, you just place over your frame, which has to be cut to size, needless to say, and that gives you a lovely window then to work from. The next step is to put on your double-sided foam tape. Now what I've done with this, because I want to have a nice depth to the card to make it easy to put different mediums into the shaker aspect, I'm going to cut this and make it double. So I've split the double-sided foam tape, and I'm just going around now the edge of the window aperture very, very carefully, because you don't want any of that to be seen from the right side of this framework. I'm going to go around it once. Do make sure as well when you're doing this that you join up all your edges, because this is the only thing that keeps all the little things that you put in to the shaker card in situ. If you have a gap anywhere around the double-sided foam tape, then beads or confetti or sequins, whatever you choose to use, could quite easily over time come out. Not only would it be a hazard to a child if a child was playing with the card, but you know, it does present problems, so you do need to be extraordinarily careful with that aspect of things. I'm then going to peel the backing from those pieces of foam tape like so, just using my pokey tool. Again, another little gizmo readily available on Handy Hippo. I think they're pink and they come in packs of 2, but you know, when you want to be sure that you're getting underneath the layers, it's quite a nice thing to use. It's very, very effective. Now, as you see, I'm going around again with the double-sided foam tape. I'm keeping within the confines of the frame structure because I don't want any of it to be seen on the inside. I am carefully marrying up the corners to make sure that I have a sealed frame by the time it goes to the card, which is all very, very important, as I've already explained. But doing a double layer does add depth to the shaker and keeps it all in good order for when you apply all your bits and pieces that you want to add to the card. There are several ways then of adding your little shaker aspect. You can either put it on top of the card that you are in the process of making, or you can put it into this part and actually find a way then to marry it up. I'm not that clever, so I always take the easy option, and what I've punched out here are some hearts which I'm going to put on the card that I'm putting together. I've got some of the little baby grows in silver because I think they look very nice together, and they just add a little bit of bling and interest to the shaker card. Got a couple more white ones here. And then, because I don't have any really tiny sequins, and this is quite a small area that we're dealing with, I've chosen to use some very tiny seed beads, which are extraordinarily effective. They are white, but they don't have to be. Obviously, if you wanted to use a different colour because it was a little girl or a little boy, then that's entirely your choice. I've just put a little grouping on top of the cutouts, and they will remain there until I put my frame over the aperture, which I will do now. I'm going to stand up for this to make sure it's lined up. And I'm just going to literally place it over the aperture that it was primed and ready for the shaker aspect, and you'll see that is perfectly put together. All the edges are sealed. You've got the shake aspect, you can see the hearts, you can see the little baby grow there within the confines of the acetate, and that will hold together really, really nicely. To put something onto the bottom of the card, I've just punched out a little oval, a scalloped oval, which I will place underneath here flat using my double-sided tape. There are words on the back of this, but it's the wrong colour for the rest of the card, so I've just used the green again, because that is actually, the little rocking horses are green and red. So I shall just pop that underneath there centrally, and then I have some embossed baby feet, which I will again pop into the centre of the scallop, and I don't want them raised up at all because the main feature of the card is the fact that it's a shaker and you've got all of those lovely embellishments to brighten up the card anyway. So I should just put those there, and to marry up the silver within the shaker card aspect, I will just put the little bibs across there with some little tiny bit of double-sided foam tape, and that just lifts them up and gives them a place within the framework. And then you just add whatever sentiment suits you best. Congratulations, new baby, welcome, whatever, you know, suits your style and suits the occasion. Just peel off the backing of that, put it over the front there like so, and I think you'll agree that makes a really effective and quite simple shaker card to welcome a new little person into the world. I hope you found this helpful. If there's anything you would like me to go through again in more detail, then please leave a message at the bottom of this video. In the meantime, I hope it's inspired you, given you an insight into what's available on the Handy Hippo website. They've again just had a flash 10% off sale. You do need to be signed up to the Handy Hippo site here on YouTube, and remember the competition, it is going to be English menus which will be seen on the Handy Hippo channel. They are added by Edie Jane Clark, who is the overseer of the DT design team members. So that would be where you will pick up the words, not on my personal channel. So thank you all very much for watching. As I say, I hope this has inspired you. I hope it's given you food for thought. Do check out Handy Hippo's crafts on the web. It is good to be a member to hear about their up and coming events. Thank you very much once again. Take care everyone. Happy crafting. Bye bye.